How would you...
Filled as the last dragonborn contends with Aldrin at the end of time. Are you paying attention, Delphine? You might learn something of our own history.
sky guard you. Where did you learn of that? Who have you been talking to? Yes, for matters of such gravity, we need to know where you stand, or who you stand with. The Blades, of course. They specialize in meddling in matters they barely understand. Their reckless arrogance knows no bounds. They have always sought to turn the Dragonborn from the path of wisdom. Have you learned nothing from us? Would you simply be a tool in the hands of the Blades to be used for their own purposes? Do not be so sure about that. Beware. The Blades may claim to serve the Dragonborn, but they do not. They never have. As for me, I kept from you only what you were not yet ready to know. Are still not ready to know, as your question reveals. No, not now. Not until you return to the path of wisdom. Dragonborn, wait. Forgive me, I was intemperate. I allowed my emotions to cloud my judgment. Master Einarth reminded me of my duty. The decision whether or not to help you is not mine to make. No, I cannot teach it to you, because I do not know it. It is called Dragonrend, but its words of power are unknown to us. We do not regret this loss. Dragonrend holds no place within the way of the voice. But not Dragonrend. The knowledge of that shout was lost in the time before history began. Perhaps only its creators ever knew it, but I am not the one to speak of it to you. Only Paarthurnax, the master of our order, can answer that question, if he so chooses. He lives in seclusion on the very peak of the mountain. He speaks to us only rarely, and never to outsiders. Being allowed to see him is a great privilege. Only those whose voice is strong can find the path. We will teach you a shout to open the way to Paarthurnax. aren't you? My understanding of clear skies. This is your final gift from us.
Look!
Clear skies.
Look! Baka! Look! Baka!
Salok. Greetings, Hundunik. I am Parthenax. Who are you? What brings you to my Strumach, my mountain? Yes, Vaza. You speak true, Dovahkiin. Forgive me. It has been long since I held Tinvak with a stranger. I gave in to the temptation to prolong our speech. Drem. Patience. There are formalities which must be observed at the first meeting of two of the Dove. By long tradition, the Elder speaks first. Hear my Thum. Feel it in your bones. Match it if you are Dovahkiin. Why do you intrude here, if not for Tinvak? Understand fire. The Dove do. Not now. Show me what you do. Greet me not as mortal. Dova. Ah, yes. Sosedo Vrostmul. The dragon blood runs strong in you.
Be careful.
It is long since I had the pleasure of speech with one of my own kind. So, you have made your way here to me. No easy task for a Jor, mortal. Even for one of Dovahsos, dragon blood. What would you ask of me? I have expected you, Proda. You would not come all this way for Tinvak with an old Dova. No, you seek your weapon against Alduin. Alduin Comet Tid. What else would you seek? Alduin and Dovahkiin return together. But I do not know the Thum you seek. Croesus, it cannot be known to me. Your kind, Jor, mortals, created it as a weapon against the Dove, the dragons. Our Hadrime, our minds, cannot even comprehend its concepts. Drem, all in good time. First, a question for you. Why do you want to learn this Thum? Yes, Alduin, Zemach, the elder brother, gifted, grasping, and troublesome, as is so often the case with Firstborn. But why? Why must you stop Alduin? True, but Kostid, prophecy, tells what may be, not what should be. Kostid Salo Ak. Just because you can do a thing does not always mean you should. Do you have no better reason for acting than destiny? Are you nothing but a plaything of Dez, of fate? If you can see your destiny clearly, your sight is clearer than mine. Dahman, remember, Alduin also follows his destiny as he sees it. But I bow before your certainty. In a way, I envy you. The curse of much knowledge is often indecision. But you have indulged my weakness for speech long enough. Croesus. Now, I will answer your question. Do you know why I live here, at the peak of the Monavin, what you name Throat of the World? True, but few now remember that this was the very spot where Alduin was defeated by the ancient tongues. Varucht Unslad. Perhaps none but me now remember how he was defeated. Yes and no. Viknus Nikaron. Alduin was not truly defeated either. If he was, you would not be here today seeking to defeat him. The Nords of those days used the Dragonrend shout to cripple Alduin, but this was not enough. Ok Mulag Unslad. It was the Kell, the Elder Scroll. They used it to cast him adrift on the currents of time. How to explain in your tongue? The Dove have words for such themes that Jor do not. It is an artifact from outside time. It does not exist, but it has always existed. Rahwahlan. They are fragments of creation. The Kele, Elder Scrolls as you name them, they have often been used for prophecy. Yes, your prophecy comes from an Elder Scroll. But this is only a small part of their power. Zofa Suyek. Not intentionally. Some hoped he would be gone forever, forever lost. Meye. I knew better. Tidbo Amativ. Time flows ever onward. One day, he would surface. Which is why I have lived here. For thousands of mortal years, I have waited. I knew where he would emerge, but not when. Tid Krent. Time was shattered here because of what the ancient Nords did to Alduin. If you brought that Kell, that Elder Scroll back here to the Tid Ahran, the Time Wound, with the Elder Scroll that was used to break time, you may be able to cast yourself back to the other end of the break. You could learn Dragonrend from those who created it. Crosis, no, I know little of what has passed below in the long years I have lived here. You are likely better informed than I. Trust your instincts, Dovahkiin. Your blood will show you the way. Return it here to the Tid Achran. Then, Kele Vomindok. Nothing is certain with such things. But I believe the scroll's bond with the Tid Achran will allow you a seeing, a vision of the moment of its creation. Then you will feel, know Dragonrend in the power of its first expression. You will see them, the first mortals that I taught the Thum, the first tongues, the leaders of the rebellion against Alduin. They were mighty in their day, even to attempt to defeat Alduin. Sahrot Hun. The Nords have had many heroes since, but none greater. I cannot tell you in detail. I never heard it used. Kogan. It was the first Thum created solely by mortals. It was said to force a dragon to experience the concept of mortality. A truly von Mindoran. Incomprehensible idea to the immortal Dove. I have taught the way of the voice for centuries, and the Thum since long before that. But no, Dovahkiin. Others do not come here to train anymore. Saran, you are the first in over 100 years. I meditate on the Rotmulag, the words of power. I counsel in their use. It is enough for me. Knowing a word of power is to take its meaning into yourself. Contemplate the meaning of a Rotmulag. You will become closer to that word as it fills your inner self. Will I teach you, Dovahkiin? What word calls you to deeper understanding? There are 3 to master. Fus, Faim, and Yol. In your tongue, the word simply means fire. It is change given form, power at its most primal. That is the true. Think of this as the fire builds in your sum, in your breath. Sum Ark Morah. What will you burn? Vomendok. The Dove are... I warned them. Yes, but they... I was far from here. Which calls to you, Dovahkiin? Ponder. That is fine. Which calls to you? It is... Think. That is Fus. Drem Yolok. Greetings. Sum Ark Morah.
So, you spoke to Parthenax. The dragon blood burns bright within you. Did he tell you what you wanted to know? Did he teach you the dragon rend shout? Well, so be it. If he believes it is necessary for you to learn this, we will bow to his wisdom. We have never concerned ourselves with the scrolls. The gods themselves would rightly fear to tamper with such things. As for where to find it, such blasphemies have always been the stock and trade of the mages of Winterhold. They may be able to tell you something about the Elder Scroll you seek. You have learned so much already, Dragonborn. Growing, but there are many words of power in Skyrim carved in the dragon tongue. Finding these lost words would be a sufficient test to temper your abilities with experience. Ask when you are ready to search. We have felt the whisper of a word. Give me your map and I will show you where its echo can be found. Such blasphemy. Take your question to the College of Winterhold. They may be able to help you. It was created by those who had lived under the unimaginable cruelty of Alduin's dragon cult. Their whole lives were consumed with hatred for dragons, and they pour. When you learn a shout, in order to learn and use this shout, you will be taking this evil into yourself.
I've been looking for you. Got something I'm supposed to deliver. Your hands only. I have a letter here from Quintus Navale in Windhelm. Looks like that's it. Got to go.
welcome you, friend. How may I serve you? We are creatures of the desert. Take a look. Fortune. Take a look. I hope that you will come.
Food and support. Don't pay much, but they let me sleep by the fire in the inn most nights. I'm late, gotta run!
right. We need to work twice as hard now that that fat-headed leg elf has declared war.
We're at war with Leg Elf? Isn't he your husband?
No, he isn't. He's the enemy, and we are going to crush him.
Drafted into war. How could my husband?
By the gods!
Please, someone
Did
do
that
something!
really just happen? Someone do something!
My job is to serve the Jarl, not waste time talking. Thornyoff is convinced I've got some connections at the Cauldron.
Huh? It don't matter now. None of it does. Just leave me be.
Unless you're bringing me another round, you can just keep walking.
Now here's a man I'm going... No, there isn't. And I suggest you leave it at that. I don't want to see anyone get hurt over this.
Turns out who runs Winterhold doesn't change much.
Yeah,
Can't say I'm surprised.
I don't... My days at the college are long behind me, but I prefer to stay close by. Dagor and I... So you wish to master the arcane arts? So you wish to master the arcane arts? All right, then.
It's not like there's anything to do here but drink anyway. You ask me, not enough of it.
You lost?
Nothing to do here but drink till you forget you got nothing to do.
I'm just the housecarl.
With the Empires, then by my right as Jarl, I name you Thane of Winterhold. I grant you this weapon from... I'll also notify the guards of your new title. Wouldn't want them to think you're part of the common rabble now. Goodness, no. They're simply scholars. They mean no one harm. I've had several conversations with Archmage Aaron over the years. Oh, he's perfectly polite, if a bit guarded. I'm afraid the Winterhold you see before you is somewhat underwhelming. I can assure you, though, that it was quite something in its prime. An early capital of Skyrim, you know. Sadly, the Oblivion Crisis took its toll on Winterhold, in more ways than one. Then, the Great Collapse swallowed most of our beloved city. You may have noticed the college, just to the north there. Very prestigious place. Mages from all over Tamriel traveled here to seek knowledge. After the Oblivion Crisis was over, many felt that magic users were to blame. Elves, to be specific. It created a great deal of tension. A good many dark elves were driven from the city, and people became uncomfortable with the presence of the college. Just about 80 years ago, there was a terrible disaster. The cliffs overlooking the Sea of Ghosts collapsed, taking most of Winterhold with them. In the middle of it all, the college was practically untouched. Many of the survivors were suspicious. Some believed the mages. Archmage Aaron assures me that his people had nothing to do with it. And I believe him.
Divine smile on you,
never
friend.
recover.
Can't wait to kill another of Ulfric's boys.
I'm just the house, Carl.
If you need something.
Cross the bridge. The way is dangerous, and the gate will not open. You shall not gain entry. Oh, most who arrive here do so because they have heard of the college beforehand. This is the College of Winterhold, a safe haven for mages in Skyrim, a place of wisdom and arcane knowledge. I am here to assist those seeking the wisdom, and if, in the process, my presence helps to deter those who might seek to do harm. The more important question is, why? Perhaps, but what is it you expect to find within? Do you? It is true there are some here who have spent years studying the accumulated knowledge of the scrolls. But what you seek does not come easily. It would seem that the college has what you seek. The question now is what? Not just anyone is allowed inside. Those wishing to enter must show some degree of skill. A small test, if you will. No, I'm afraid I don't know anything of the sort. Dragonborn? It's been so long since we've had any contact with the greybeards. I would be most impressed to see that.
Fus
How did you do
Brother!
So the story's normal. I think I'll lead you across the bridge. Once you're inside, you'll want to speak with Mirabelle Irving, our master wizard. So the stories are true. Normally, I think there is much. Mirabelle will be waiting for you.
I need to ask you to stop. That... Can't say I've heard of any laws against whatever that is you're doing. But I've got my eye on you.
You are new here, are you not? We have not spoken. Then allow me to introduce myself. I am Savos Arin, Archmage of the College of Winterhold. I am quite content to see nearly any aspect of magic explored and investigated. But I do not and will not approve of any research or experiments that cause purposeful harm to your fellow members of the college. Are we clear? Not often, no. Some risks must be taken to be sure. I am simply trying to avoid untimely deaths. We also must make an effort to avoid worsening what Skyrim thinks of us. I've seen documents dating back to the late Second Era. Beyond that, it's hard to say. Events in the last several hundred years resulted in a significant loss of our history, I'm afraid. The Great Collapse, as it has come to be known. An unfortunate natural disaster that ravaged the area. The college fared far better than the city of Winterhold, but it was not left untouched. No one is sure of the cause. Some believe the eruption of Red Mountain had far-reaching consequences that were only felt years later. I know there are some who have blamed the college, said that we were responsible. I assure you this is not the case. The Sea of Ghosts practically came alive. No one was expecting it. Monstrous waves battered the shore for weeks on end. Winterhold was ancient and weathered, but it couldn't withstand the sea's fury. Entire districts of the city were lost overnight. The waves receded in time, but the damage was irreversible. Most residents of Winterhold abandoned what was left of the city. The college survived, and so here we remain. Purpose? I should think it's self-evident. Magic is a true power, not something to be shunned by commoners, or treated as an amusing diversion by politicians. It shapes worlds, creates and destroys. The college is a place where we can focus on that, without the pressures of the world weighing down on us.
I believe I've made myself rather clear.
Yes, of course. I'm simply trying to understand the reasoning behind the decision.
You may be used to the Empire bowing to your every whim, but I'm afraid you'll find the Thalmor received no such treatment here. You are a guest of the college, here at the pleasure of the Archmage. I hope you appreciate the opportunity.
Yes, of course. The Archmage has my thanks.
Very good. Then we're done here. Welcome to the college. Another new student. I'm surprised at how many of you there are lately. Well, first you'll need these. While you're not required to wear them, I'll give you a brief tour and then we'll get you to your first class. Are you ready to begin? Wonderful. Please follow me and don't wander off. The College of Winterhold has been a fixture in Skyrim for thousands of years. The prominent feature here is the Hall of the Elements. It's our primary location for lectures, practice sessions, and general meetings. The Arcanium is located above the hall, and the Archmage's quarters above that. While technically in charge of the college, the Archmage's responsibilities often keep him occupied. Thus, I run the day-to-day operations. Now, if you'll please follow me, I'll show you the living quarters. Unfortunately, we've had to implement more stringent entry procedures due to some problems with the local Nords. We don't anticipate any real violence, but it never hurts to be prepared.
I have many important things on my mind. Are you of the sort that believe you're... I assure you that I shall be watching you. Or your superior and I were simply having a discussion about my level of access to the college. Well, perhaps that is why you're merely an apprentice here. Nothing you need to concern yourself with. I shall be quite capable of observing. Now that stability has been established between the Dominion and the Empire, we seek only to help Skyrim, to guide its people through this time of transition, to help lead them to a better future. I am an advisor to the Archmage. I am at the Archmage's disposal if he requires advice.
Welcome, welcome. We were just beginning. Please, stay and listen.
New here too, eh? Not at all. I consider it a blessing. My family was convinced coming here was a death sentence, or worse. It took years of insisting that this is what I'm meant to do. I know he's from the Thalmor, and that he claims to be here simply as an advisor. I also know that no one really believes that. I've been trying to avoid him, honestly. Well, look at the evidence. Nords generally don't trust magic, so it's not off to a good start. Throw in the Oblivion Crisis, which was caused by magic users, and the troubles now with the Aldmeri Dominion, who are elves and magic users. And finally, take the fact that the college is the only thing left standing after most of Winterhold was destroyed. It's all fairly damning.
So, as I was saying, the
Yep.
first thing
Does
to
that cover
understand is that
everything?
magic is, by its very
No, I
nature,
suppose we haven't.
volatile,
Brillina Marion of House
unless you
Telvanni.
can control it.
First of my family to leave
And
Morrowind.
will
Now I'm here to study conjuration. That's what's important. Didn't you know? Before the Oblivion Crisis, many elves called Winterhold their home. More visited the college from Morrowind every year. After, growing distrust of magic made life difficult for many. Some left rather than endure the growing hatred from the local Nords.
Others returned home after the Red Year, when Vardenfell erupted and caused much destruction. Winterhold itself died in the years between then and now. What's left out there is a husk. Only the college really remains. So far, if only because no one is telling me how great I ought to be, I just want to learn. I don't want to think about what's... I know I don't like the way he... I can't tell if he expects me to blow myself up or to... Sir, I think we all understand that fairly well. We wouldn't be here if...
Have you mastered the expert-level distraction spells yet? Is it? This is disappointing. Jizargo hoped there might be one who could keep pace with his accomplishments. There is much for Jizargo to be sure of. There is skill in magic, there is charm, and there is a strong will. Jizargo will be successful. Oh, but the only reason you could disagree is because you are losing so badly you cannot see it. Mages in Cyrodiil are all about politics. The Synod and the College of Whispers are too busy guarding secrets to bother to teach. Skyrim was not Jizargo's first choice, but Winterhold is removed from politics, dedicated to study. This is the place
of course,
for
my
Jizargo
dear,
to
of
become
course.
great.
You all certainly
All right,
possess
then.
some inherent natural ability. That much is not being questioned. What I'm talking about is true control, mastery of magic. It takes years, if not decades, of practice and study.
Then what are we waiting for? Let's get started.
Please, please. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Eagerness must be tempered with caution, or else disaster is inevitable.
But we've only just arrived here. You've no idea what any of us are capable of. Why not give us a chance to show you what we can do?
You've been quiet so far. What do you think we should do? Is that so?
See, he agrees with us too. Why don't you actually show us something?
All right, let's settle down. I suppose we can try something practical. In continuing with our theme of safety, we'll start with wards. Wards are protective spells that block magic. I'll teach you all a ward, and we'll see if you can successfully use it to block spells, all right? Would you mind helping me with the demonstration? Are you at all familiar with wards? That's what this lesson is. Now, if you'll just stand right over there, I'll cast a spell at you, and you block it with the ward. Would you mind helping me with the demonstration? Well, then. Now, over there, please, just opposite me. Wouldn't want anyone else in the way. Take care now. Now, cast the ward spell and keep it up.
Fus Roda! Leave me alone.
I'm trying to pay attention.
Shh. Whoops.
You have to keep your ward up, or else this won't work. I don't want to hurt you. Over there, please, just opposite me. Wouldn't want anyone else in the way. Now, cast the ward spell and keep it up. Hold still. Excellent work. Well, I think this is an excellent start. I'd like you all to continue practicing with wards, please. I think perhaps we're ready to begin exploring some of the various applications of magic throughout history.
Enchanting services are one of the few things that keep... I need some more supplies. Can you help out with that? I'm running low. If you can bring me 3 more. So you do. Thank you. You've come to the right place. I'd be happy to teach you. I'm sure you can figure it out on your own. If you can't, perhaps... My pleasure. Well, there's more enchanting to be done. All right, be quick about it. Here's the name and location of the client.
Skyrim could not be more different from elsewhere, but magic. Magic is the same no matter where you go.
I have many important things on my mind. Your concerns are not on me.
You are now in the Arcanium, of which I am in charge. It might as well be my own little plane of oblivion. Disrupt my Arcanium, and I will have you torn apart by angry Atronachs. Now, do you require assistance? If you're feeling adventurous, I'm always looking for someone to procure valuable books from some more dangerous locations. Well, all right, here. I scribbled down the last place I'd heard about. Check it out, but be careful. A mage is only as good as what he knows. I try to make sure as much knowledge is available as possible. We've been keeping this collection since the Second Era. Books have come and gone during that time, but it's mostly intact.
As a matter of fact, they're immensely powerful mage, back in the First Era. Had an understanding of magic few have ever matched. He holed himself up in Labyrinthian, and devoted all his time to research and study, but more than you would imagine possible. Since then, his writings have been scattered all over Skyrim, but are little use to anyone who can't translate them. I'm one of the few who can. I've heard whispers of more of his work having turned up. If you can track it down, it may prove useful to all of us.
Of course I do. If I didn't, most of these books would have been burned to ashes or dissolved to nothing before the Third Era. Mages need to be reminded to be careful around research materials.
And what do you plan to do with it? Do you even know what you're asking about? Or are you just someone's errand boy? You think that even if I did have one here, I would let you see it? It would be kept under the highest security. The greatest thief in the world wouldn't be able to lay a finger on it. What about... Wait. Were you the one the greybeards were calling? I'll bring everything we have on them, but it's not much. So don't get your hopes up. It's mostly lies, leavened with rumor and conjecture. I have a few things laying around that weren't worth adding to the collection. You may look through them.
Until next time.
It's lies. All of it. I don't care what she told you. It's all... Feralda, don't act like she didn't say anything. I know her, and I know what she's been up to. My problem with her? She's the one who has a problem with me. She's threatened by me, by my skill as a wizard, by my elegance and posture, by my superior good looks. But she is not. She's trying to undermine my confidence, make me doubt myself. Well, it won't work, I tell you.
Don't trust that. Mo, I have... He is rather handsome, though, isn't he?
I think the college is due for a change in leadership.
I want to see you treat... Hundreds of years have gone into us. Aye, that's the work of Septimus Cygnus. He's the world's master of the nature of Elder Scrolls, but, well, he's been gone for a long while. Too long. Oh no, I hope not. But even I haven't seen him in years, and we were close. Became obsessed with the Dwemer. Took off north saying he had found some old artifact. Haven't seen him since. Somewhere in the ice fields, if you want to try to find him. You need a book? You talk to me. Otherwise, you're going to find yourself in a lot of pain.
Ares the boss. Should talk to her
Strangers
tomorrow.
are always trouble. Just a scratch.
by the 9.
Is someone there?
You're as good as dead.
Stab you in the back.
I guess I was just hearing things.
It's kind of dark.
Now ain't this a surprise?
Hey, be careful. Watch it. This is the end for you. I'm on your side. Do it. What are you doing?
No!
Good day, No problem. How can I help? You lead, I'll follow. Bandits and thieves. Men like these raid our town every year.